Hi guys, welcome to day 24 of the 60-day DAS Trader Challenge. Today was a really good day, as stress-free as I think I'm ever going to have potentially. I traded just the 2 stocks, only had 13 tickets, so 13 executions, so that's great from a commissions perspective. And time-wise, I was done at 9:44. So my daily goal in paper trading is $300 a day, and I made 325. So fold was 186.50 and HK 138.75. They were both shorts. Now, before we get into them, just to give you an idea, when I do go live again, so this is my last week of simulated trading using DAS. From next week, I'm going to go live again. Now, I've had some big losses in the past where I didn't have the right approach, I didn't have the right strategy, I didn't have the experience. So this time around, I'm predicting things are going to go a lot smoother. I'm not going to say that they're going to be without their kind of troughs and peaks, because that's what trading is all about. But it's going to be a lot more process driven, if that makes sense. Now, when I do go live, my daily target isn't going to be $300. I'm going to start very small size, and my profit target is either going to be $50 or $100. I'm probably going to aim for $100, but 50 is where I'm going to kind of baseline myself. So it's not going to be about taking massive positions. It's going to be all about just risk management, because the last thing I want to do is blow up my account again, which would be now the 3rd time. I know that a lot of traders say, and it's not just traders, but overall in life, you know, if you haven't failed at something, you're never really going to be successful, because you need to taste defeat in order to learn and grow and develop from that. So I've tasted defeat twice on a pretty big scale. I lost 5K the first time round, and then another 5K the second time round, which was only like 3 or 4 months ago. So that's, you know, definitely back on my mind. So, you know, you need to fail before you can get up and learn to get over those, you know, mental blocks and hurdles and everything else that goes with it. So very much looking forward to Monday next week. It may not be Monday because I have to get a new version of DAS Trader, which is a different platform from what I'm told than the simulator. So I can't just use my simulator and link my IB account. I've got to get a new version of DAS Trader before I can do it. So that may take a couple of days, but I'm aiming for Monday. Anyway, let's get cracking into this. So 2 stocks. Actually, I want to apologize to you guys for my top. It's a 13-year-old Liverpool top, which I love dearly, and it's very comfortable. So if it's falling apart at the seams, you know, I apologize, but I'm comfortable in this, and this is, you know, what makes me tick, so to speak. Anyway, so let's get into it. So fold. Now, today's stocks, one of them, specifically this one, I got in really early in the market. It opened at 9:30, and my first trade was fold pretty much at 9:30. But, excuse me, it opened up really low below the VWAP, which was a bit risky. I couldn't control that because it never pulled back in pre-market towards it. Let me just get my. So my stop was at the VWAP, but I got in here, and this is literally as the market opened. So this was a price of 12.85, right? So my stop loss is already, I mean, my average price was 12.82, right? So I'm 48 cents away from my stop, which is a fair bit actually. But the reason I got into this so early and I didn't wait 5 minutes is because I just felt that because of the weakness that I saw in this, I just didn't think it was going to come back to the VWAP, or at least push up past it, especially in the first 15 minutes. Now, call it instinct, call it a gut feeling, call it experience, I don't know, but I just had that inkling feeling that this is the way it's going to go. So that's why I got into it. And from a risk reward perspective, it's pretty crap. But from a momentum or balance of power perspective, where you're siding with the side that's winning, in this case the sellers, I think it was an okay trade. Now, this dropped at this point, but it was really quick. I mean, I was holding, I think, another 150 shares. Let me move this. I think I was holding about 150 shares here at this point. And I just didn't get a chance to cover it here at all because I was watching HK. But really good trade. What's that? $186.50 on it. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's, for me, I'm really happy with that. So overall, as I just read here, that I got in very far away from my stop losses. It opened quite far away from it. Added to a winning position, an overall great trade. It's much easier to add to a winning position than losing ones. So this is what I'm beginning to try and do. I'm trying to add to winning position. So I got in here with 400 shares, and then I saw it falling, and then I got in here, and I covered half my position, and then I added to my position. So it's so much easier to add to your position when you're winning, rather than, you know, through kind of gritted teeth when you're losing. But today was just a really nice day, and it worked out. So that was fold. And the second trade was HK, which is here. Now, HK got a really good entry. Now, once again, I got in here. I waited 5 minutes for it to set up, and I got in really close to the VWAP. I think my stop was only 16 cents away, right? Which is fine. But once again, the risk reward is pretty shoddy. Like, it's not even 1-to-1. So in other words, I'm risking more than I'm looking to make, which is never a really good setup. But once again, well, I mean, now in hindsight, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing how much it dropped, which wasn't a lot. And now in hindsight, I'm looking as to, you know, how it bounced off that mark. Now, by looking at this trade, I'm thinking to myself, there really wasn't much meat on the bone here. You know, this was almost a scalp trade, which is not what I do. So now looking back on it, for me, this wasn't a very good trade. While I was in the trade and it was working out, it looked to be fine. But, you know, now that I'm journaling it and I'm looking back on it and reflecting on it, I could see that it was quite risky. Now, why was it risky? It was risky because it wasn't showing a lot of weakness, and to short something that's not showing a lot of weakness is pretty risky, because this could just snap back really quickly to the VWAP and even just go straight through it. You never know. Yes, it had really good volume of over 1.2 or almost a million shares here at one point, so that was decent. So from my perspective, you know, volume, yes, good, but weakness, not so much. So I just got to be a little bit careful next time that if something isn't dropping heavily, that I don't get into it. On the other hand, if I only wait for the perfect setups, which have just, you know, which show a hell of a lot of weakness, and there's not going to be a lot of those trades around, so I'm going to be sitting idly for quite some time. So you just have to balance things out. You know, do you sometimes take a little bit of a risky trade, but smaller size? How much did I take here? So here I took 1,000 shares, which is a fair bit, but look at the price. It's not very expensive. So you could afford to take slightly bigger size on this. I think I'm right in saying that the moderator in the chat room, Andrew, he took, I think he said he took 1,000 shares when he entered. And then I think he said he added another 3,000. So his position was 4,000 shares. Now, there's no use comparing apples to oranges. I mean, his account size is bigger. He's got a lot more experience. You know, he's seen these setups, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of times. He kind of knows a bit more what to expect than I do. So obviously, I'm not going to go 4,000 shares, but I don't think it was excessive. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it was okay. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just a really nice solid day. I've got 3 days left of simulated trading, so I'm really going to focus on making sure that I take this even more seriously. So I had a bit of a lull period, say the last 3 or 4 days, where I knew that I was going to be finishing the sim, and I kind of dropped off a little bit in intensity. I mean, not to say that I took it less seriously, but I just didn't feel that kind of sharpness, you know, that kind of game factor where, you know, you're on your game. But now that it's sinking in, that 3 days and I'm back again on live cash, you know, this has really kind of made me take it a lot more seriously than I was before. So now, obviously, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to screw this up. The last 3 days, I want to finish on a high is what I'm trying to say. So the next 3 days, you might not see the same kind of profits, hopefully, of, you know, $400 or $500, because that's not what I'm going to be aiming for. I'm now going to try, and even though it's only 3 days, I'm now going to try and just focus on keeping this as real as I can in terms of share size, in terms of risk management. So, $300 is in the sim what I'm looking to make, but live will be $100. So don't be surprised if you see a lot smaller amounts in the next 3 days, because that's what I'll be focusing on, getting mentally prepared for trading less size and going live. So that's about it, guys. One more announcement to make about the journal called TotalTrader. It is coming. I'm just working on it still. I've still got some little kinks to iron out. The Excel version is ready to go, but I just want to make it a little bit more special. So I just need a little bit more time. So for the moment, if you are keen on using it, and I know you haven't seen a lot of information about it, drop me a line if you can and let me know what broker you're using, because that means that I'll now be able to start preparing the export templates or import templates for whatever broker you're using. So we've got DAS covered. I think we've got IB covered. I'm just checking on that. But anything else, let me know. More than happy to help. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day and speak to you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.